Everyone. Already we discussed in previous sexual reproduction in flowering plants. In the sexual reproduction flowering plants, male part we called as stamens, female organs we called as carpels. The stamens, which consist of filament and anther, that is anther produce pollen grains through microsporogenesis. That once pollen grain is discharged, female part we called as a carpel, which consists of ovary, style, stigma. The transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma we call it as a pollination. Already we discussed the different agents, how it is a pollination occur. Now our topic is, once a pollen grain is reached to the stigma, what happened? That is called post-pollination events we are discussing. But here, once pollen grain is reached to the stigma, that is stigma is the landing platform of pollen grain. Once it is reached, these pistil can accept or reject. This is under controlled by pollen pistil interaction. How it is? This pistil can recognize this is the right type of pollen grain, wrong type of pollen grain, they can recognize. If your right type means they can accept, they promote the germination. If wrong type means they can inhibit the germination. First we will discuss what is the right type of pollen grain, what is the wrong type of pollen grain. First one, see, compatible. Compatible we call as right type of pollen grain. Incompatible, that is called wrong type of pollen grain. What is the compatible or right type of pollen grain? The pollen grain is released from same species between two different plants. For example, this is called one plant, this is called another plant. One plant pollen grain transferred to the stigma of the another plant, but same species or type of pollen grain we call as right type. Right type of pollen grain if you reach to the stigma. This is called compatible pollen grain. What is the incompatible or wrong type? Means the pollen grain is produced in the same plant. That is example. For example, this is called one flower. This is a female pot. This is called male pot. The transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma in the same flower. Already we discussed the previous self-incompatibility. This is the same flower, pollen grain reached to the stigma, we call the self-incompatibility. It's also wrong type. This is next. Different plant, two different species. Same species means right type. Two different, example the mango, carpel, this is called tamarind. Each type of pollen grain is reached to the stigma, that we call as wrong type. But anyway, pollen grain is reached to the stigma. This pistil can recognize its right type or wrong type. How can it is recognized? Due to chemical interactions. Some of the chemical compounds is present in this pollen grain and carpel, that is outer exine part of the pollen grain. Some chemicals are present. Some chemical compounds are present in the pistil. This is called two chemical compounds can recognize its wrong type or right type. In case wrong type means it's inhibit the germination of this pollen grain. If right type of pollen grain, it's encourage, it's promote the germination of pollen grain. For example, already we discussed in previous, this we called as pollen grain. You know, this is called structure of pollen grain. This is exine, this is called intine, and maybe some of the pollen grain is releases two-celled condition. Two-celled condition, how many cells present? That is called, one is a big cell we call as vegetative, small cell we call as a generative cell. Most of the pollen grains, that is called 60% of pollen grain is released in the form two-celled condition. Some of the pollen grains, that is 40% is released in the three-celled condition. In the three-celled condition, Generative cell is divided by second mitotic division to produce two male gametes that we call as two sperm nucleus, that we call as two male gametes. These once in the three-celled condition, this we call as a matured male gametophyte. A matured male gametophyte is germinated on the stigma. Right type means it's germinated, wrong type means it's not germinated here. If right type of pollen grain is reached the stigma, it's germinated. This where exine is absent, what you call that one? Germopore. Pore we called as germopore. Through germopore, intine is projected to the outside. What you call that one? That we called as pollen tube. Pollen tube is develops from the intine. It's not exine. In case the question will come, what is the chemical composition of wall of the pollen tube means what you write? This is called intine, cellulose and pectin. Now cellulose pectin chemical composition is wall. It's projected outside to the germopore. That we called as pollen tube. Once pollen tube is formed, the total component is present in the pollen grain is entered, delivered into the pollen tube. This pollen tube is germinated in the stigma. When it is the stigma is receptivity mature, that time it's helpful for the germination of pollen grain. Our pollen tube is passed through the tissues of the stigma and tissues of the style. But in case right type means pollen tube is passed through the stigma and style. In case wrong type means that the pistil can recognize, prevent the germination of pollen grain on the stigma, prevent the formation of development of pollen tube in the style. Anyway, once the pollen tube is reached to the ovary, maybe some of the ovary which consists of one ovule, or maybe some ovary which consists of more than one ovule. Ovules are present within the ovary. But this pollen tube is entered into the ovule through the micropyle. From landing pollen grain on the stigma to reach the ovule, the overall we called as pollen pistil interaction. This dialogue under controlled by some chemical composition in the pollen and pistil can interact these. It's helpful for the maybe receptor, maybe accept. It's helpful to development of pollen grain. For example, once this pollen grain, this is pollen grain is produced pollen tube. Example, this is called ovule. You know this is ovule. What you call ovule is also considered as megasporangium. In this ovule, pollen tube is a process. Pollen tube mostly is entered into the micropylar region to embryo sac. This is called embryo sac. How many celled condition? You know that is 7 celled condition, 8 nucleated condition. This is called matured embryo sac. It's present in the ovule. This pollen tube is passed through maybe into the embryo sac through micropylar region, or maybe entered through integument region, or maybe through chalaja region. 3 possibilities is there. So one possibility is pollen tube entered into the embryo sac through micropyle. Pollen tube entered into the embryo sac through integuments. Pollen tube is entered to the embryo sac through the chalaja region. Anyway, these 2 male gametes, this is 2 male gametes enter and a tube nucleus, later it is degenerate. These male gametes is entered, that is the pollen tube is entered into the micropylar region to fuse with the egg cell, that we called as, what you call through micropylar means porogamy. What you call porogamy. That pollen tube is entered through integuments to fuse with the egg cell, that we called as integuments. Mesogamy. Mesogamy. Maybe some pollen tube is entered into the ovule, that is entered into the embryo cell, that we called as chalazogamy. Discuss that pollen tube is entered through the chalaza, that we called as chalazogamy. Pollen tube is entered into the embryo sac through integuments, that we called as mesogamy. Pollen tube is entered through micropyle into the embryo sac, we called as porogamy. Porogamy, mesogamy, that is chalazogamy. Through chalaza, chalazogamy. Through integuments, mesogamy. Through micropyle, that we called as porogamy. Most of the plants, what is the common type? That we called as porogamy. Why? At micropylar region, you know that is the two synergids are present. Through synergids, that is cell wall thickenings, we called as a piliform apparatus. If piliform apparatus is present at the synergids, if piliform apparatus is helpful to give guide to the pollen grain. What is the role of this piliform apparatus? It's give proper guidance to the pollen tube. That means pollen tube is present that side, they will give guide, come. That is, they will give guide to allow to micropylar region to the embryo sac. So that purpose, a piliform apparatus is the responsible. A pollen tube is entered into the embryo sac through via one synergids. Among the two synergids, through one synergids, it is entered into the embryo sac. What happened with synergids we will discuss later. But this pollen tube is processed from stigma to style and entered into the ovule. But many plant breeders, what chemical compounds are the responsible for these interactions? They are discovered, they are find out. Even wrong type of pollen grain is reached to the stigma, breeder produce high quality that we call as desired plants are produced by the breeder. Example, it's one type of self-pollination. Due to plant breeding, good hybrid plant is there. Due to self-pollination, desired plants only produced by the breeder. How? If a right type of pollen grain is not reached to the stigma can accept wrong type of pollen grain. But among two pollen grains are present, it's accept the right type, but not wrong type. If you are not available or wrong type of pollen grain, it's accept to produce new plants. These chemical interactions, chemical compounds are found out by plant breeder. And another, we are collecting example, see some of the plants that is called pea plants, another plant chickpea, next one is Vincarizia. These type of plants, pollen grains that we called as, we are taking in the laboratory. One slide I am taking. In this slide, these pollen grains are dusted. Pollen grains are dusted on the slides. Once pollen grains are dusted on the slide, on that, 10% sugar solution we are using. 10% sugar solution we are keeping on the slide. These pollen grain, these plants pollen grain, within 15 to 30 minutes, within 15 to 30 minutes, this pollen grain is produced pollen tube. How can you find out? How you observe that? It is a pollen tube is observed with help of even low power microscope. With low power microscope, we can find out that pollen tube germination, that is pollen tube formation in this slide. You find out, see, This pollen tube formation on the stigma we called as in vivo. This pollen tube germination with help of artificial discussed that this pollen grain germination in the laboratory on the slide by artificially using a sugar solution. This we called as in vitro. The pollen grain germination naturally on the stigma we called as in vivo. Anyway, this pollen grain is a germination seen on the slide with help of even low power microscope. Normal microscope, with help of normal microscope, we can find out this pollen tube germination on the slide. Anyway, this pollen pistil interaction is the dynamic process. This dialogue is find out by the breeder. This breeder we can manipulate even wrong type of pollen grain also we can produce desired plants.